It starts with a little voice inside. This doesn't feel good. You wake up every day, dreading what's to come at your corporate job. You dread it because it's the same nonsense, day after day. Needless meetings, executive schmoozing, and working like a robot. You used to have dreams. You remember them faintly, but you had to say goodbye to them, right? Where there was once a fire, you're now empty inside. The work has no meaning, and you're just going through the motions because you need it. Familiar? Yes, trust me, I get it. You need a livelihood. But don't you dare concede to this misery as an unchangeable situation. It's not that way at all. And you're not alone in feeling this way. Literally millions around the globe are suffering in their work life. I have a label for this. I call it the corporate cage. In this episode, we'll cover 3 things: what the corporate cage is, what it looks like to free yourself from the cage, and the specific keys you need to unlock freedom. Listen, your corporate life can be good, really good. It just takes work. So, you ready to live life uncaged? Let's go. Welcome to the Rising Digital Leaders Show. I am your host, Matthew Doan. Today's organizations are powered by digital capabilities, cloud, data science, cybersecurity, and much more. To be competitive, we must have tech-savvy leaders steering the ships. But these people don't come out of thin air. We must develop them. This show is for the technical experts of the world, those brave souls that feel unheard and lost in the crowd, but know they were born to lead. We need you to rise, to become impactful digital leaders. In these episodes, we help you undergo a self-transformation, developing the mindset and skill set that'll massively enhance your abilities, influence, and career potential. We take a different approach, pulling in lessons from philosophy, psychology, neuroscience, and history to enrich the professional and personal aspects of your life. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the Rising Digital Leaders Show. Now, let's dig in. I know how it feels to be in the corporate cage. I was there myself for over a decade. But what exactly does that mean? Let me define it for you. The corporate cage is a psychological state where you feel trapped and stunted by the circumstances of your corporate working environment. Let me say that again. The corporate cage is a psychological state where you feel trapped and stunted by the circumstances of your corporate working environment. 2 keywords there. Trapped. Trapped because you believe you must accept the environment as it is. And stunted. I say stunted because your growth path seems predefined and inherently limited. Now, it's easy to blame the external environment. Bureaucracy, organizational politics, rigid processes, lawyers, bad bosses. You can have this whole mentality of, this is happening to me. That's not a good place to be, though. You want to know the scary thing? The corporate cage is a cage of our own choosing. We create our own prison. Yeah, that's right. I said it. You've subconsciously said yes to this cage, and you have the power to say no. Listen up. I understand that the majority of jobs around the world are offered through corporate systems. And let's be frank, there are some great companies out there, small, medium, and large, with excellent cultures and opportunities. And you can truly thrive there, and I want you to. I'm not urging you to be a penny-pinching digital nomad or go out on your own as a hard-charging entrepreneur. No, your corporate career, right where it is, can feel good again. You can unlock the corporate cage right where you are. You have the power to create what you really want. Freedom. Okay, so we just defined the corporate cage. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Second piece I wanted to cover is the possibilities of freedom. Have you ever been asked, what do you want from your career? Freedom is probably not your default response. You'd likely provide superficial and boring responses like credentials, security, predictability, salary, and benefits. But trust me, if you dig deep enough, what you really want is freedom. So suspend your disbelief for a moment and let me break down the 5 types of freedom. We've got time, financial, purpose, social, health. Time freedom is to spend our time as we choose. Financial freedom is to not have to worry about money. Purpose freedom is to have real meaning in the work we do. Social freedom is to interact with people that inspire and support us. And the last one, health freedom, is to have a sound mind and body that enables our best life. Now, isn't that what you really want? It's time to break free of the corporate cage. It's time to earn that freedom in all aspects of life. Next, we'll get to how. All right, so now we've entered the third part of our conversation, freedom keys. All right. First, realize that you possess the necessary freedom keys in your pocket right now. You can use them to improve your professional life and subsequently your entire world. And let me stress, it's the feeling you're after. The secret is to first feel free. From there, you'll notice your life has tangibly improved. You'll then be free. We need to first feel free, and then we can be free. So I'd like to introduce you to what I call the 4 freedom keys. They are authenticity, autonomy, community, and leverage. Let's go through each one. Number 1, authenticity. This is about finding space for creative expression. You're a unique mixture of talents, interests, and worldviews that the world has yet to experience. The corporate environment naturally suppresses this authenticity, lest you be too rogue or too dangerous. Operating too far outside normal parameters, norms, expectations, that stuff isn't so well tolerated in the corporate world. Here's your goal. Dial up your authenticity within the confines of your environment, pushing on the outer limits so that others within corporate understand your unique value proposition. And externally, there's significantly more opportunity for you to express your authentic interests and be rewarded for it, such as developing a personal brand and participating in the creator economy. Check the show notes for the episode on the creator economy. Number 2, so we've talked about authenticity. Now we're on to autonomy. With autonomy, we're focused on maximizing ownership over your time and priorities. And these are your priorities, not the priorities that others always set. Yes, we have to work with them, but you get to set these too. The default mentality of those who enter corporate environments is to agree to everything, all the meetings, tasks, and responsibilities. That's how you succeed, right? No. This can quickly lead to overwhelm. More importantly, much of what ends up on your plate doesn't move the needle from an individual or a team perspective. It leads to a ton of waste. I know you've experienced this. Low autonomy correlates to stress, poor health, de-emphasis of personal priorities, and much more. So your goal with autonomy is this. Rather than succumb to external pressures and norms, proactively carve boundaries, set expectations, and establish independence in how you spend your time. Obviously, you want to contribute to strategic and team goals, but do so with your strengths and preferences top of mind. Trust me, you won't regret this. And neither will your team. Number 3, we're on to the third freedom key, which is community. We need a network of inspiring and supportive people in our world. Without this, we run out of energy and our ideas don't have the reach that we desire. The people you surround yourself with shape you. Productivity is fine, but not if it crowds out time for meaningful relationships. We feel our best in a tribe. It's actually in our DNA. Community is powerful. When you're engaged with a group of people all aiming in a similar direction, you can march as one. You experience the pull of the group, and it's infectious. Once you start adding value to others' lives, it'll come back to you in droves. Maybe not immediately, but believe me, it will over time. Your goal with community is this. Think beyond your immediate team. Identify the types of people that'll get you where you want to go. Dream big. It's more possible than ever to enter the inner circles of professional celebrities and influencers that you admire. Through direct conversation and online interactions, add value to receive value. Be consistent over a long time period. Again, we're playing the long game always. Eventually, your sense of community will rise exponentially. Just keep going with it. Fourth freedom key is leverage. Leverage is about accomplishing more with less. It buys us time and space while opening new doors. However, when you're in the corporate cage, it seems nothing happens without you alone pushing full force. This leaves you feeling incredibly frustrated as you sense a one-to-one relationship between your time and your outcomes. Understand, as Naval Ravikant says, we now live in an age of infinite leverage. It's important that you fixate on establishing leverage both inside and outside your corporate environment. Here's how this might play out. Here's 4 scenarios for you. You establish the right relationships, gaining you access to key opportunities. Or you automate workflows and delegate tasks to others to reclaim your time. Maybe you craft your role to capitalize on your strengths, becoming known as the go-to person. Or lastly, you build and ship thought leadership content externally, planting seeds that'll germinate over the long haul at scale. Those are 4 ways that we can think about leverage inside and outside of our corporate jobs. The idea is this. A leveraged professional can outperform a non-leveraged professional by 10x or even 100x. Moreover, they establish more freedom in their life to focus on things that give them the greatest joy, impact, and reward. Your goal with leverage is this. Identify the levers that A, are most interesting to you, and B, feel most natural. It's that simple. Make leverage a focal point of everything that you say yes to. Will it improve your long-term wealth and freedom? Will it make your life easier and more enjoyable? These are questions that you need to ask to figure out points of leverage. So those are the 4 freedom keys: authenticity, autonomy, community, and leverage. It's simple. The more you use these 4 keys, the better life gets, professional and personal. With sustained focus, that caged feeling decreases and your sense of freedom increases. I'll be honest, sometimes you can create more freedom in your current role. Other times, you'll need to shift positions within the company. And as a last resort, it may require you to shift companies altogether. But start small. Test your way towards a better situation. You can do this, and you must. The corporate cage is no place to be. All right, to wrap up, we just completed our deep dive on the corporate cage. We covered what the corporate cage is, what it looks like to free yourself from the cage, including several types of freedom to aim for. And lastly, we walked through the 4 keys you need to unlock freedom. I implore you, if you're unhappy or you just want more out of your professional life, don't accept the status quo environment. Take control. Actively design more freedom into your career and life. It's entirely possible. I've done it. So many that I work with have done it. It's everything. Please do it. You get one shot at this, my friend. Please do it well. This is your host, Matthew Doan. Thank you for listening to the Rising Digital Leaders Show. Again, my mission is to help you elevate your career as a digital leader and live a thriving life. I hope this episode sparks new thinking and helps you take meaningful action in your world. If you enjoyed the experience, I'd be so grateful if you subscribed and left a 5-star review. That's it for now. Until next time, my friends, stay virtuous.